Hello, hello. Welcome back to episode 39 of the Everybody But Me show. We have a great guest today. The better looking counterpart today is a man from Australia, a man who I've met a few times and had hell of some crazy nights with. And excited to have him on here today. You guys know him from Too Hot to Handle, but I hope today you get to know him for a lot more. He's a huge advocate of mental health. And we're going to dive into that today in this show. And I'm just excited to have you on here to learn more about your story, to share your story, and to share what you've been going through. Harry Jowsey, everybody, welcome on, man. Thank you for so much for coming on, spending the time to come out here. I know people are excited to have you on here. You're definitely the best looking guy we've had on this show. Chase Demore was on here last week, and he doesn't stand a chance.
No, he's got no chance. I'll win that battle 9 times out of 10.
Exactly. I don't even think 9 is fair. I think it's 10 out of 10 here. I think it's a unanimous decision. But how are you, man?
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No, excited to have you on, man. We always, start this off with a hard hitting question, and we go to a song. So I'm gonna have you pick a song. I'm gonna ask you a hard hitting question, and then we come back from this song. You give me your answer.
Okay, pick a song right now.
No, well, you just give me whatever song comes to your head, but I'm gonna give you the hard hitting question right now. And the hard hitting question is, what has helped you the most when struggling with your mental health? What outlets? What do you do when things get tough for yourself? What do you do to get through those struggles? But before you answer that question, I need you to give me a song.
Okay. The song I need is "You Rock My World" by Michael Jackson.
You rock my world. All right, here we go. You Rock My World by Michael Jackson. I haven't heard this one. It's a good one?
This is a banger. I've been listening to it today. It made me feel really good.
Really? Love it. All right, and we are back on the Everybody But Me show. We got Harry Jowsey here. Before we left, we asked Harry, what has helped you the most when struggling with your mental health? Harry, what you got for me?
The biggest thing that helps me the most is turning my phone off and just going outside, because then you realize a lot of your problems actually don't matter. Like, you just turn your phone off, you have a break, you give yourself the 20 minutes that you need to be outside, be in the sun, and like show gratitude. That's what I do. I'll go and I'll sit outside and I'll just be grateful for everything. I'm like, I'm grateful for the sun being out today. I'm grateful for the sky. I'm grateful for the tree. I just say stuff like that. So it puts me in a motion of like gratitude instead of feeling sorry for myself. And then I come back and deal with my problems, and I'm in a way better headspace than I was when I left.
Now, how long have you started doing that for?
I think it's more of a recent thing. Like the past few months, I went away and did like a spiritual retreat where we did like ayahuasca, and it made me start looking in a lot more and trying to understand myself a lot better than I was before. Because when you come to LA, like, you just want to go out, you want to party, you want to get fucked up, and you know how it is. Like when your show's hot and everyone's like want to be around you, all you want to do is go out and get drunk and stuff. So I just when I went away and did that spiritual retreat, it just helped me start looking within, and then started getting therapy, started trying to understand my mind a little bit better, and just like listening to little things that made me feel a little bit better. And one of the biggest things was just like getting sunshine and going outside. And now anytime I did that, I knew I would always feel better. So every morning for like an hour right after I work out, I go and take all my calls, all my meetings, any emails and stuff, just outside walking around, which is a little bit crazy because I'm just staring at my phone, but it makes me feel better.
All right. So what prompted you to do this spiritual journey?
So in the year prior, I lost two very close people to me to suicide.
Damn.
And it made me question what I was doing in this space with like entertainment, like reality TV. Like, why have I got this platform? Why are my friends like, how am I not making my friends like laugh? And like, what do I need to do more to make more people laugh? That was the whole like premise. The reason why I went on reality shows in the first place was because when I was at university, I lost my brother's best friend to suicide as well. And it made me just spiral. And I'm like, well, fuck. Like, it's one thing to ask everyone if they're okay, but it's also another thing to try and give as many people a laugh as possible. So that was the goal. It was like, I'm going to go on reality TV. I'm going to make everyone laugh at me. And then I'm like gonna at least have something to talk to my friends about, because they're gonna be like, yo, you're an idiot. Like, this is so funny. So that was kind of the process. And then once I did those shows and whatever else, I'm here in LA, and then I get the phone call. Hey, like, did you hear about this? And then a month after, right before my birthday, get another call saying, did you hear about this? So kind of like, it really shook me, and I didn't know, I still haven't been able to shake it. I don't know how to, like, it's a hard thing you just never lose. Like, you're always thinking about these loved ones. So I went and I started asking a bunch of questions, and had a very dear friend recommend this retreat. And I was like, I think it might be the right time. It might be the thing that I need right now how do I be a better influence? How do I be a better leader for my audience? Like, what can I do a little bit better? And it made me it was like a 10-day retreat, and just everything from start to finish was just perfect. And it helped me understand myself a lot better, but also answer a lot of questions that I had for my friends that I lost, and helped me deal with that as well. So that was kind of where it all kind of began.
Now I got to ask you this, because I've always been interested in it, and because I've heard about it from a lot of people who've done it, and everyone says the same thing. It was life changing. It was, has you thinking completely differently. What was ayahuasca like?
It was, someone described it to me the other day. It's a different perspective on your reality. I don't know if that's like a pretty broad, but pretty much it's just a really beautiful process. Like, it's ancient plant medicine. It's a hallucinogen. So don't want to encourage anyone to do it, because it's a really big process, and you have to do it right. You don't want to go and do it in your friend's living room. You have to do it you have to really respect it. But yeah, kind of what happens is you drink this little drink, and you wait a little bit, close your eyes, you start meditating, and then that's when your visuals and you just get transported into like another dimension. It sounds a little bit like woo-woo hippie stuff, but it was crazy. It was wild. It was everything that I needed to see and hear. Like, I did it 3 times. The first night, I saw very specific memories with my brother and my dad, because I didn't have a good relationship with either of those men. So it made me really, really like live and be in the moment. And with these like memories, like I remember beekeeping with my dad, like it just put me back in that child body, like beekeeping, and I was just crying because I had so much love for my dad. And I'm like, why have I stopped talking to him? Why am I being so stubborn? And it made me be in love with having a dad and a brother again, and wanting to build that relationship. And then the next night, when I did it the next time, I did 4 times the amount I did the night before. So I just saw everything. I saw as much shit as I needed to see. And yeah, it was wild.
Who was prescribing that dose? So who was prescribing that dose?
I for some reason I just said, I'm gonna take as much as they're gonna give me, and they didn't stop. So it was it was honest. It was really special, but it's kind of crazy because you have you're in like this hut in the middle of Costa Rica or wherever else, and around 50 strangers, and everyone has a different battle that they're dealing with, a different trauma, and you see a night and day difference between people from start to finish. Like, you see people who come in a little bit shy, worried about whatever's going on, and then on the final day, it's just like this. You just see this beautiful person blossom, and people had real life stuff that they had to deal with, and I think it was really special to be a part of that, be a part of their journey, and help them in a little way through their trauma. But it's not something to take lightly. It was something that I got to a point where it was kind of the only thing that I could see how I was going to move past some trauma and stuff. But it was it was really special. It was really wild. But it's also one of those things that I could be on it right now, having this conversation with you, and it'd be fine. But if I close my eyes and I go in my head, that's kind of when it like comes on.
Really?
It's not like crazy stuff. Like, you're going to be like, like laying down, like the whole walls melting and shit like that. It's not like that. It's more just like internal.
Introspective, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so you did that for 3 days, and so you did that after you had the passing of your 2 friends and whatnot. Did that help you with grief at all?
It helped me. It helped me like connect with them, if that makes sense. Like, I had on the second night I did it, I saw everyone I've lost to mental health, and I relived memories with them, like in a third person. Like we're up here watching us just like drink and like hug each other and just say how much we love each other, and we're not speaking any words, and we're hugging each other, telling us like how much bro, I love you, I miss you, how's everything? Like it was like our mouths weren't moving, but I was talking to him. And then, and then with my brother's best friend, seeing him and just making sure he was okay. And then my best friend's mom, talking to her, and she was just like, told me everything I needed to hear. And I was like, I know it's not the answer. I understand. Like, I get it. Like, there's nothing we can do about it right now, but what can I do to make everyone's lives a little bit better? And what do you need from me? It was kind of like that. Like, how can I help your kids? How can I help the rest of our friends? And it just helped me find peace with that whole situation and put that sad, like burning energy into something positive. And how can I turn this into something beautiful for you guys? Because I don't know what else to do. So it helped me find peace with them and get the answers that I needed. So it was really amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think with grief, especially like you experienced something sudden, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I lost my mom from a brain aneurysm 3 years ago. And so that's like a sudden thing. So you don't have answers. You don't know, you don't get to say anything. You get a call and that's it, and that's tough. I think that's like one of the hardest things to do is when you don't know and it's just abrupt. And so I think that's beautiful that you were able to get answers, because grief something that, hits you in waves, and it comes and it's going to keep coming no matter what, no matter how many years down the road, you're always going to think about it. Maybe it becomes more beautiful than it does really painful, which I hope you're experiencing now is more beauty than pain. I think what I try and do is just say, my simple saying now is just make mama proud, honor them, and I think that's cool, because I think it's like that journey, the ayahuasca, and now, I feel like you're like, even from the guy I used to go out and party with, be on the piss with, as you would say, and to the guy I'm talking to now, I'm like, this is a Harry I don't even know yet, and I think it's beautiful and it's amazing, and then you shared with me earlier, you're sober now. How long after that trip to Costa Rica did you become sober?
Damn, I think it was like a couple months after. So I went and did that retreat, and I went to Coachella. And after Coachella, I was just like, bro, like this sucks. Like, I'm here at the Influencer Olympics. Like, no, like it was fun, but like I felt horrible for 2 weeks, and I just was like, this sucks. Like I just asked myself the question, like, what is this serving? Like, who is this benefiting? Like I've been doing the same shit for years, like going out, getting on the piss, getting drunk with my friends, whatever else. Like, I just asked myself the question, like, who is Harry in 5 years' time? Does he drink? Does he go out? Does he do this stuff? Because if he does, let's keep doing it. But if he doesn't, then who cares? Like, let's stop it. So after Coachella, I made a rule to myself. I'm not going to drink until my birthday, which is in the next month or so. And so I've just been focusing on like my mental health, my body, and just studying and trying to get good at this industry, and just trying to make my friends proud, and trying to make the people that I lost look down and laugh at me and do silly stuff. So it's really helped. It's really helped me like develop, I think, becoming a better man and a better person for my audience. Like I'm a little bit more comfortable talking about like mental health and spirituality and stuff that I'm doing now. And instead of being like the big drunken idiot from, reality TV, which is kind of what I was like falling into. And I never really had a problem with alcohol, but seeing the effects that it's had on both my parents and some of my other family members, it made me just question like, what is the need of it? And I think it was one of the best things I've done.
That's incredible. So I think one of the big problems that people have with going, not drinking or going sober is the social pressures. And I know you're a guy who, one, you got all the women coming after you, you have all the parties and all the fun events. How do you deter yourself away from all that?
It was the biggest thing for me is I would just tell people like, hey, I don't drink. I have a rule, like I'm waiting till my birthday. And then if people still go you get to a point where like you get pretty tired anyway, and like you don't want to be out because you're not bars, whatever. So I would just make it a rule, like I'm gonna go for an hour. I'm gonna go hug everyone. I'm gonna go see as many people as I can and talk to people, and then I'm gonna go home. Like I don't know. I enjoyed being at home and sleeping and waking up fresh and ready for the day than being out and partying. Like I think my priorities just changed right away, and it is tough. It is tough to tell people no. It is tough to turn down shots. It does take a lot of discipline, but again, like if you can do that, especially now when it's like such a crazy culture, like I felt so much more powerful and more proud of myself than folding and then going out and getting on the piss and just being a menace.
Mm-hmm. Did you? So do you ever think like say that Harry? Well, when were we on the show 2 Out the Hand? How long ago was that?
I think it was like 3-4 years ago.
You think 3-4 years ago you would be in this position right now, like sober, cleaned up, like you said, not being a menace anymore?
Bro, I would not, bro. I know how I was back then, and I was a piece of shit. Like I was the worst, bro. I was trying to sleep with everyone I could. I was drinking as much as I could. I was going out. I was doing all the drugs I could. I was being a little menace. I remember like being so skinny. Like I had a little belly on me. I think my nipples were bigger than my chest. Like I don't think I would have ever thought that this is the way things would have gone. Especially with my family. Like how, especially drinking culture, my family and stuff in Australia. Like they love smashing beers. Like they love getting on the piss. And I'm from a country town. So everyone there just drinks rum and rides horses. So the fact that I changed gears and now I have crystals and I have a therapist, it's a little bit out of field. And I think a lot of people are looking at me a little bit different, but I feel a lot better for it. That's
sick, man. No, I mean, I think that's something to be proud of, man. I look at even myself, I think as I'm listening to you talk, I'm like, because I am a menace still. I am in the streets still. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy going out with the boys, you know what I mean? But I do, like, every time I leave it like, this shit sucks. Like I always make a joke to, Kate and Tate who work with me now. And on Mondays, I'm like, man, just get me out of the streets. I'm tired of it. But like the reality is, because it's like, you come back beat up. You're like, fuck, why did I just do all this shit? Why did I spend all this money? Why did I, And I know it's even something that I'm like, man, this summer I'm trying to clean up and get right. Like there's like this show's been stressful. Sometimes going out is just an outlet. But really it just suppresses the real issues.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, I didn't like dive straight into doing a year sober. Like I made it a rule before this. I was like, anytime I leave LA, anytime I leave this city, I'm allowing myself, like, you're good to have a drink. Like, you're good to go out. Like, don't put too much pressure on it. And that was kind of where it started. And then it got to a point where I was just like, okay, well, I'm not really doing it as much as I thought I was anyway. So I may as well just cut it out. And then you develop that habit. Like, I didn't just go cold turkey.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have been able to, because it is fun. It is fun going out with the boys, getting lit. Like, we've been out. I'm a dickhead when I'm drunk. Like, I'm having a good time. Like, I don't care, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
But, it's just, I slowly built up to it.
What so in LA, do you enjoy, now that you're sober, do you still enjoy living in LA?
Yeah, I honestly love it a little bit more. Like I realized, I think in Miami and New York and Vegas, like there's always new people. There's like the clubs are always crazy, whatever else. But in LA, like it's more of like a bar scene. Like people, like the main clubs and stuff kind of slow down. It's just always the same people there. It's always like the same people getting lit every weekend, and it's kind of boring. But if you go to Miami, it's always like young people, like fresh people all the time, like getting crazy, whatever else. Same in New York, same in Vegas. So I kind of just got over it anyway. I was just like this, like I live here. I'm going to see the same people every weekend. They're still going to try and jump on our table. It's just going to be the same like club rats everywhere we go. So there's not much point. So that was also where the rule came in. Like I'm only going to drink and go out in different cities. But yeah, it's just, I think it's more of a bar scene here anyway. But there's a lot more to offer, which is I've started to figure out. Like there's new restaurants, there's always new hikes, there's always new stuff. Which kind of I sound really boring, but
no, I mean, how old are you now, Harry?
Huh?
How old are you now?
25.
25. Damn, I mean, 25. I was like you said, just out of my mind. That was before I even hit the TV show. You know what I mean? So like to making these, I'm 30. And at 25, I wasn't even on TV yet, and I was out of my brain. you know, and for you to be 25 and sit there and be like, you know, I need to make a change. You know, if I want to make it, and what I like too is where it's rooted in trying to make a difference for your followers because of what you've been through with the people you've lost. And you just like, I want to put smiles on people's faces, and that's what's important to me. And I just think that's amazing, and a way to take what the pain and the negative and turn it to something that's really positive. You know, I see a lot of the things you're doing now, and it's really cool. Like you're one of the most comfortable people I've ever seen in their own skin. You know, the way you go on social media, the way I've seen you act around our friends like Carter and all that stuff. Like you're just you just love people and you're pure. But something I love is the segment you're doing right now with Netflix, and you come out and it's basically who wore it better, right?
Yeah.
And you come out, you've done it with Tan France, you've done it with Lily Collins, you've done it with Ashton Kutcher, Reese Witherspoon, Addison Rae, Gigi. I mean, how's that been?
Dude, it's nuts. Like it's the wildest thing because you like meeting A-list celebrities, but you're wearing their dresses or like their high heels and stuff. And I'm 6'5", like I'm not a small guy. So when I put heels on, I'm 7 foot. Like I'm just unnecessarily big for no reason. So it's a lot of fun. Like it's really weird because I'm meeting people and I'm wearing like kites or like latex or whatever. But it just, it's a nice like icebreaker, but I usually like freeze up if they start asking me questions because I'm like, look, I'm not prepared for this. I just have to fire these questions out. I have to get out of this outfit and I need to go home and cry about it. But it's honestly, it's the biggest blessing. I don't know how it kind of came about. I don't know why they picked me, but I'm very happy that
But people gotta love it. I mean, what are the comments like? What's the feedback like on that?
It's honestly always good. Like there's actually, I have been seeing this one recently. Everyone's like, this is his humiliation ritual. Everyone thinks I'm joining the Illuminati. Which is good. I'm like, yeah, sick. Like, I don't mind. I'm trying to join wherever they are.
Yeah, get me in. They got the money.
Yeah, like, look, whatever I need to do, I'll do more of this shit. But no, the comments are always good. Like, people just laugh at me. It's always funny to, like there's a lot of like macho men that follow me as well. Like my friends that are just, they won't like message me or they won't like it, but if they see me out, they're like, damn bro, that shit was funny. It's a little bit weird, but it's funny. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
No,
that's all the validation I needed.
That's fantastic. So now you're trying to get into acting?
Yeah. So I did a film last year, which I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I had a few scenes in that, and I've just been focusing on getting better at entertainment and this industry and doing my best to keep things moving forward and just kind of leaning into the man that I want to become in the next 5 years. And one of the pillars of that is to just have respect and have respect for the acting space and to be a little bit better at hosting and a little bit more professional, a little bit more clean cut, because it's a little bit hard to come from, a dating show where you're kind of just known for sex. And I leaned into that so heavy after the show. And now I'm like, okay, well, there's no like longevity in this. And I will want to be able to continue to make people laugh. I want to be able to be on stage and do stand up and do stuff like that and just give people that laugh that they need. So this is kind of the transition across, is to step one, get good at this, read as many books as I can, and then land a few things. And then hopefully in the next 5-10 years, I have, that type of feeling when you turn on like a Kevin Hart film, you're going to laugh. So that's why you're going to watch it. So that's the goal, is to have that, obviously not as big because he's huge.
Hey, who knows, man?
Incredible.
Who knows?
But who knows? But that's the goal. So I got to get good at all this stuff first. But it seems to be working. You
said something I want to kind of go in more on. Who's the man you want to be in 5 years?
The man that I want to be in 5 years, look at this. I have this big book, and I know people listening to audio can't see it, but I have this big book. It's my big manifest journal, and I write all my goals and everything that's in there, and I write like letters to myself for the next 5 years. But for me, I just want to have a positive impact. I just want to be exactly what I said before. Like when you see Kevin Hart's face, you're going to watch that film because it's going to make you laugh, and people are going to have a 90-minute break where all they can do for that 90 minutes is just watch you be an idiot and laugh at you and not have to think about the drama or whatever else is going on. Because it's one thing to text everyone and ask all your friends if they're okay. But I can't do that to my whole audience. Like I can't check in with everyone every single day. But one thing I can give them is something to laugh at and something to just maybe give them a different thought than the chaos of whatever's going on in their head. Because I'm losing so many people from mental health. For me, it's like, this is what fills my cup is to give people a different thought and something to just giggle at. So the man in 5 years is hopefully like a quarter of the size of what Kevin Hart is, or if not the same size, and just someone that has an impact similar where you can just laugh. And yeah, that's the goal.
I mean, I love the reason why. I mean, that's amazing. I think if you keep that reason why, you'll figure out where you want to be. It'll come to you, you know? I think people do things for intentions that, you know, necessarily aren't pure or right. And that's where they don't get to where they want to go. You know, they want to do for fame or money, which, you know, luckily for you, you're able to put that aside. You've had that, you felt that, you tasted that, but now you just want to do things for the right, for the right intentions. And I think that right there is powerful. And that'll give you the time to give it 5 years, you know, not just give up on it, you know, because you have a bigger reason why than just money or fame or anything like that. So I think that's definitely really cool and really impressive.
Thank you, brother. That's awesome. Yeah, because it is obvious though. Like a lot of people in this industry just kind of get sucked in. Like they get a little taste of the fame, whatever else, and that's kind of all they start chasing. And to be fair, for a little bit, when I was off the show, I was like, oh, this is sick. Like I need more of this. Like I remember setting a goal. I was like, I'm going to hit 5 million followers before the end of the year. And I realized that that's the wrong intention. That's the wrong goal. Like you're chasing something that's just going to fluctuate. It's going to come and go. And it's not real. It's not a real object, but your impact, or maybe landing 2 movies or like doing a comedy show or doing something that's going to give people more of an impact, or building more of a community around you is the best direction to go. And I pulled my focus off followers and audience and numbers and all this stuff, because it doesn't matter. It's a byproduct of following your purpose and following your heart.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you ever battle with, you know, when you came, so I always say this, I never had really anxiety or anything like that until I went on reality TV, until I had these fans. You know what I mean? What about you?
Yeah. It is it's a weird thing, because you have to watch yourself back from like a year ago, and people saying shit about you, stuff gets cut in that maybe wasn't necessarily true, and it made me question a lot of things. It made me look again like deep inside and go like, what's going on? And then you have to deal with the comments. You have to deal with all these people that don't know you, that only get to see 5% of your personality, that are just drilling you about why you suck, or you could have done this better, or whatever else. So yeah, being this, when the show kind of came out, being in this space was the first time that I ever got anxiety, got depressed, got worried, got like a little bit insecure about everything that was going on. Because it's tough. Like it is really tough, but it's a blessing and a curse, I think, about all this, you know, being in this space.
What I guess what is like a moment that you were in that you say was probably, damn, the toughest, darkest time through that? Because I mean, I've had my moments where like I can't get off the couch. I'm just like pissed, freaked, whatever it is. How'd you get out of that moment?
Yeah, for me, I know the exact day, because it was a day that I was going through a really bad breakup, but the person that I was in the relationship with just started posting a bunch of lies and was leaving comments everywhere and was doing interviews and talking poorly on me when we didn't even have a bad breakup. Like things were good, and we were still friends, and we were trying to start from a friendship and build up. But this person, for some reason, just didn't want me to be seen in a good light, and would comment nasty things, would tell her audience to comment nasty things, at the point where my mom was getting death threats, my friends were getting death threats.
Jesus.
All this stuff was going on, and it made me question like everything. I'm like, if this wasn't from me, because of me, like if I wasn't in this relationship with this person, or if I didn't go and do this show, all my friends, all their mental health, everyone would have been fine. But now, because I've put myself in a position to be with someone who's like weaponizing her audience to come and attack me and my friends and family, that was a point where I just was so confused. Like, I didn't know what to do. But the best thing that I did was I had great friends around me. They took my phone away. We jumped in a car. We drove to Arizona. We went to Sedona, which is just like this very like spiritual place. Just, I don't know, it helped us like disconnect, and it made me grow closer to my friends. It made me understand myself a little bit better, and just made me feel like, okay, like I'm built for this. I can get through it. It's not a big deal. It's no big deal. Like, it's just people battling their own like insecurities, trying to jump on and put someone down. So it was that point when all I had was love online. Like, people were just like, oh yeah, we love you. And then it come to a point where someone just wants to post lies and try and put me down, and it just turned into hate. Because with reality TV, I think that people are so quick to flip. Like, they don't even need a reason to hate you. As soon as someone says they doesn't like you, they're like, okay, cool, we hate him now. Like, It was really weird. It was crazy.
No, I mean, and that's kind of what I was talking with Chase, the other day. Like, we're reality contestants, right? We are only going to be on TV, or you're only going to follow us or keep up with us if we're playing our persona, or we're just entertaining in general, And Chase is like, my persona was this crazy, pretty much fuckboy, you know what I mean? And I'm playing into it, And he gets all the hate because of it. You should have seen the comments on here. They were going in on him on this AMP app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when we peel back the layers, like the real Chase is like, that's not really who I am. But I gotta play a role to become. So Netflix called me back and brings me back more. And I think so people don't understand what the reality really is behind that person. There's some people here, they may be fucked up, And what I think is cool now is you're able to transition from what crazy Harry was to now being the Harry you want.
Yeah, exactly. I think I just got, very blessed. I think doing podcasts and doing stuff like this where people get to sit down and listen to you and hear your personality and hear who you actually are. And that was one thing I was doing after my show as well, same as Chase. Like, I was leaning into it. Every podcast I was doing, I was talking about eating pussy, going out, getting drunk.
Yo, you used to say the wildest shit, Harry. You used to say the wildest shit all the time, Harry.
I was bad. Like, I was so bad. Like, lucky I got a publicist and everything down. I got a team that what's best for me. But I was just saying the craziest stuff because I was like, this is gonna get the biggest reaction. But then when I started looking back, I was like, man, this is tiring. Like, I don't want to be this guy. Like, I don't want people to think that this is what I care about. Because there was a point where I was going out and people were like grabbing my junk and like forcing themselves on me and trying to do stuff. And I'm like, hey, like, I'm not this guy. Like, I'm not always horny. Like, I'm good. I don't want to hook up with you. I don't know you. Like, please, like, relax. Like, so it got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I want people to know a little bit more about me, and doing stuff like this has helped.
Yeah, no, I mean, to turn that page, to turn the new chapter, like I said, Harry, this is the last time I saw you, which was, I think, Super Bowl, not this year, but the last year. We were in New York City together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, you were pretty tamed up. You know what I mean? I think you were booed up at the time, and I was I think I was the wild one at that point, right? But still, like, even that guy to where you are now, I'm like, damn, like, it's cool because I mean, we don't get to keep up because you're in LA, I'm here. I see you quite a bit whenever I'm in LA, which is really like once a year, twice a year. But it's cool to see like where you're at, the evolution, the maturity and the growth, dude. Like, you should be proud, man. You should be proud because I'm over here inspired. Like, damn, I need to start manifesting more and start writing things down that I want to be, and start really looking at my health and my mental health. And dude, it's impressive, especially at 25, because 25 I had no sense.
Damn right. Thank you. Yeah, I just I don't know. I think just from writing down my goals, it's kind of all just blossomed from that. Just like asking myself the question, who am I in 5 years? Like, I'm very blessed with my team. We do this thing called a 3-1-3. We write down your 3-year goals, and then we bring that back to 1-year goals, and then we bring that back to 3-month goals. What can we do in 3 months that's going to help that 1-year goal? And then what can we do in 1 year that's going to help that 3-year goal? And I think from having that process, every 3 months where we sit down and we do that, has helped me stop like prioritizing stuff that doesn't matter. And I think that's been the most beneficial thing. So if there's people listening that need somewhere to start with that, because it's gonna help a lot. And maybe do it with your friends. Set up like a group Zoom or a lunch or something where every 3 months you're gonna sit down, you're gonna go through your goals and you're gonna help each other.
Yeah, I just wrote that down. I like that. I like that because I think so many people write all these crazy goals, but then they don't write how to get to that goal.
Yeah.
And 313.
That's the thing. I had it on like Post-it notes in my bathroom, and I'm like, this shit doesn't matter. Like all these people, anyone who comes over is gonna see these Post-it notes and gonna be like, okay, cool, like fuck that, like Harry's never gonna do it. But if I had a little sheet where only I could see it and I could keep myself accountable every 3 months and like tick that off, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm progressing. I'm making it happen instead of like this random note everywhere that has no accountability attached to it. So I think it's the best way to start for anyone who needs to start.
Damn. So you said you got your birthday coming in a month. You think you're gonna drink?
Yeah, I have to.
Where's this taking down? Where's this going down at?
So because the reason why I have to drink, well, I don't have to, but I promised. There's a lot of people that I promised that I'd have a drink with. From people that work for me, from friends, there's so many people I promise, and all my friends, like even my girlfriend Georgia, we've been together pretty much a year, like on and off a little bit, and I've never been drunk with her, and I promised on my birthday that I'll do it, that I'd finally drink with her. So it's gonna be going down to LA. I'm gonna hire a venue here. You're more than welcome to come. Everyone listening, you can come.
There it is.
And then then we got to go to Mexico for a week and just get it out of my system. And then we're gonna see what the next goal is. See how I feel when I'm laying in the fetal position and feeling sorry for myself. I'll probably set the next crazy goal, and then I'll have to stick to it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. How has being sober, you think, helped your relationship? Or has it hindered it at all either?
Huh?
Has it helped or hindered at all?
It's helped. I think it's helped a lot. Obviously, Georgia would love to go and get drunk with me, and she'd love to go out and have fun. And there's been moments where she like wants to get lit, but because I don't drink, maybe feels like a little bit of pressure or feels a little bit guilty to not like fully let loose. And I think that there's little aspects there that it has sucked, and I do feel a little bit bad because I know she, wants to go a little bit crazy, but doesn't want to do it because I'm not joining her. Mm-hmm. But I think it's helped because there's been moments where I don't have any I'm not cloudy, I'm not hazy. There's mornings where I pretty much every day I wake up fresh, and it's helped me, be a lot more accountable for her and to be a better boyfriend for her and to be. I started therapy and stuff like that. And I don't think I would have done any of that stuff if I was going out drinking. I would just be like, fuck it. Like, I don't care. I want to go with the boys and have fun. So I think it's helped me just be a better man. Yeah, just be a better man.
That's good stuff. You got me thinking about it now. So you talk about therapy. How's therapy been for you?
Therapy's been incredible. It's really helped not only in my relationship, but in relationships with friends, business, everything. Just it gives me a new way to look at situations and to look at life and to look at my own reactions to stuff. Every week I know I have 1 hour for that week to just get all my problems, everything out of my head, off my shoulders, and out of the way. And I have someone who's professional. She's trained. She's done all the homework. She's done everything she needs to do to sit there and help me figure out how to deal with it. And I think it's been the most beneficial thing because now I'm not putting any of my problems on my friends. I'm not being feeling like I'm a burden to anyone else. And I know that every week I have this person. It's helped me in every aspect of my life to points where there's been things that even Georgia said, like, even when we have an argument, I just sit and listen, and I'm a lot more accountable, and I understand where she's coming from a little bit better. Whereas before, I would be pretty easy to just be like, look, I don't want to talk about this right now. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to try and figure out how I feel in my head, and I'm going to come back when I'm a little bit calmed down. But now I'm way more accountable. I'm just going to sit down and I understand, and I hear her, I see her a lot better than I did before. So every aspect of my life it's benefited.
Wow. Do you think that's the number one thing that's improved everything you've done?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. Like it really has helped. And just from being confused about taking the next steps and being sad and depressed and not knowing like which direction to go, to having answers and to knowing my own triggers and to knowing what's gonna make me upset or whatever else, and how to understand other people as well. Like also being in this industry, you have a lot of people that are maybe around you for the wrong reasons. And as soon as I tell someone, hey, like this is how this person's acting around me, now I have this therapist like, hey, like I'm letting you know that person's not good for you. And as soon as you get it out of your mouth, like, oh, actually, like this isn't right. Like this isn't a good person. And it's helped. It's helped so much. And if anyone's thinking about doing it, I strongly suggest it. Find someone that you have good energy with and you vibe with, and that's a good person for you, because it does help. But there's also a lot of shit therapists out there, so it just makes you find the right one.
How did you find your right one?
I actually don't know. Farah, who's on my team, she's amazing. She's the best. She kept telling me I need therapy. She's like, hey, you need a therapist. And she went out and found 2 amazing therapists for me. And then I had a call with them, and this one that I spoke with, it made sense. And yeah, I haven't had a different one since.
You do it in person or you do it in Zoom?
Mostly in person, but sometimes in Zoom. Like sometimes I'll be traveling and stuff. And
yeah,
to be honest, I probably really prefer Zoom for some reason. Everyone prefers in person, but I just like to be at home. Yeah. not driving there and having to think about it on the way home.
Has Georgia ever joined you?
No, she's getting her own therapist. But yeah, I was actually talking to one of my friends who has an incredible marriage, and he was saying that the best thing he ever did was get a relationship therapist, because it's like in every aspect of your life, you need a coach. You need someone that's going to help you through it and help you through your problems. And he just said it's the thing that's made us the strongest and the happiest. And I never thought about it like that. I always thought about you go to therapy if you need help, if stuff sucks. But when he explained that to me, I was like, oh wow, that's really special.
I think you just said something right there. Is if you look at a therapist not as a therapist, but as like a coach, it puts a totally different perspective on it.
Yeah, sounds way more fun.
Yeah, it sounds like I need a coach. I've always had good relationships with coaches.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's cool, man. And therapy is something that I tried to do it once, and then I had a really bad experience. And then I've been trying to go, but I just haven't convinced myself to go back, nor have I made the time, which is not an excuse. You got to make the time,
Yeah, you have to.
Damn, you're leaving me inspired to do a lot of things when I leave here, Harry.
Yeah,
you're leaving me inspired, man. It's cool, man. It's amazing to see what you've grown into, what you're doing, man. Like I said, like these people in here, the comments. I was interested because after Chase coming on here, and then to see how people were going to respond to you, it's a completely different chat.
Oh, everyone's being good.
Everyone's loving this. Everyone's loving this, and I think it's just a testament to what you turning the page and to what you've becoming and what you've done with yourself, and it's impressive and it's amazing.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I appreciate everyone listening as well. I usually get a lot of hate, so thank you so much for being nice to me.
What do you do with the hate now?
I have a lot of comment filters on, because for some reason, people always tend to drag me into the drama. I always find myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I have a lot of comment filters on, and you also can like restrict people's accounts on Instagram. So I have like hundreds of people that are restricted that think they're commenting nasty stuff on my post, but just vanish into thin air. So yeah, that's the best thing to do is just restrict people.
Out of sight, out of mind, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. For some reason, like, I had a friend that was afraid to block someone. Like, oh, well, they're just gonna make a new account. I'm like, who cares? Just block all the accounts. Like, who cares?
I remember I was dating a girl. And every time, people didn't like this girl I was dating, so they would always send me dirt and dirt and dirt and dirt, and then it poisons the way you look at that person.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I can't be looking at these people. These people don't matter in my relationship. Like, I need to make my own opinions on this relationship. So I would just block. Eventually, you block them all. You know what I mean? They run. There's running out of haters at one point.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a best. It's a superpower. Just being, because it sucks. Like, it makes you second guess stuff, and it makes you worried and insecure and scared. And that's not the right way to be. You have to deal with people at face value, not from what like a random account is saying or sending. So yeah, it's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, and I think too, especially as an entertainer and performer, like what you're trying to be, like you have to protect yourself and protect your energy, because you don't want to second guess what you think is funny, what you're doing, because of what somebody commented.
Exactly, and that's the worst thing is like, I used to see friends that would only reply to nasty comments. I'm like, you've just skipped 20 amazing comments, people being nice, and just hit one that's triggered you. I'm like, the rule that I had for myself was, I'll never reply to a nasty comment. I'll only reply to nice comments. And it's made my like audience and my community like a lot more like really nice. And like the comments are way better instead of like focusing on the shit one. Because that trains people to go, okay, I'm going to comment something nasty because that's going to get a response out of my favorite creator instead of something nice.
Damn, no, that's it right there. Shit. So one of my favorite questions to ask people, Harry, is if a dollar never mattered, what would you do?
If a dollar never mattered, what would I do? I would go and invest in this company called Plastic Bank, which is the man who told me to go on ayahuasca. He's incredible. He's amazing. This is a huge plug for him because he's awesome. But he has this company called Plastic Bank. And what they do is they go to third world countries and they set up banks in schools and churches and stuff like that there. So, you imagine you're in this third world country, you can't really get out. You don't know what to do. You don't really know how to, you like living on like $10 a month or whatever. What they do is they turn plastic into currency there. So they give you a chance to go and collect plastic and clean up rubbish and whatever else from the oceans, from the streets and whatever else. And they take it to these plastic banks. In turn, they take that plastic and they sell it to like big brands like Windex, whatever else. So they use recycled plastic. So if a dollar never mattered, I would go and invest as much as I could to those guys and to help their mission, because they're incredible people and they're doing something that's just special. And another thing that I would do is I would set up a comedy festival, free comedy festival with mental health hotlines all around the stage so that people can go and just have a laugh. And the goal with that is, if you want to nominate someone to go, you can only nominate people. So you nominate your friend anonymously if they need to laugh, and you send them free tickets to go to this comedy festival. So that's
really
the
cool.
two things that I would do.
You need to make that happen.
Yeah, well, that's on the vision board. That's why I keep saying it, because I'm like, I gotta make it happen. The more I talk about it, the more accountability I have to have, because now there's a bunch of people that's listening. You've listened, everyone in the room's listening, and now I have to do it. But it's the more I speak about it, the more it's gonna happen.
It's crazy that the things you do speak do come to existence.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful, man.
It is. It is. I always said I was gonna get second place on The Bachelorette, and I did.
Yeah, God, you should have said first.
But should I?
No.
But no, I think that's cool, man. I think I'm gonna. Is there anything else you want to share about mental health, or is there anything that you want to harp on before we wrap this thing up?
Damn, what's a good thing? I think
actually, hold on, before you go to that, I want to know what's your favorite saying?
What's my
one of your favorite quotes or favorite sayings to live by?
Well, my dad would always say this to me when I was a kid. It was, stay with the happy people. For some reason, that's the only thing that's ever stuck with me is because and I always wanted to be the happy people that you stay with. So that was what my dad would always say to me as a kid. And I don't know if that hits home, or I don't know, makes anyone, I don't know, because there's so many people that you hang around with and you leave that conversation feeling bad and feeling worse and drained and tired. And when you leave a conversation with someone who's happy and uplifting, you leave that feeling so good and just buzzed. So that was what my dad would always say to me. And for some reason, that's the only quote that comes to my brain when you ask me that.
That's cool. Stay with the happy people. I love that, man. I love that. But so you can end. Is there anything you want to end with, or things you want to leave with the people with?
Forget. I don't know.
But I think stay with the happy people is it right there. But nah, man. Like I said, I this completely took a turn that I'm so happy it did. I didn't know what to expect. I haven't seen you and spoke to you in a while, and man, I'm just happy to see you where you're at, and you've inspired me to want to make changes and do things better. And I'm sure the people in the chat are just in awe, and they love you. And you got Tate over here who works with me, and Mike over here just like hanging on to every word you're saying, because dude, you can make a difference, And any way I can be a part of that to help you make that difference, always count me in. So
damn, bro, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak on your platform and talk about kind of what's going on in my world, and giving me the your audience to kind of hang out with me for a little bit. So I really appreciate that. And anything you guys need as well, make sure you just text or call me.
I will, man. I'll be in touch for sure, man. Stay with the happy people, brother. I appreciate you so much. And guys, that's episode 39 with Harry Jowsey. What a fucking episode. You killed it, brother. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week.